in the nun section and the monk section, from the Tibetans, they actually recollected the cell phones, which means that they have to hand in their cell phones and not use that often. So many people actually bought 2 cell phones so that they can use it. So this is the best year of selling cell phones, I think. My point is that do not waste your time in the garbage fast food culture. Today we still have translators, don't we? I'm speaking too fast. It's okay. When I was the simultaneous interpreter of Phuntsog Rinpoche, I really lagged behind for a long time. Sometimes I speak 1 or 2 sentences and another 1 or 2 sentences. It's very difficult. It was very difficult for me to catch up. I interpreted for Phuntsog Rinpoche all the way from 80s, late of 80s to late 90s. I think it would be the best if we had simultaneous interpreting since 87. I hope those of you who listen to simultaneous interpreting, you could also persevere, because this is important to actually keep listening, and through listening to this, you can aspire, you can make aspirations at the same time. Some of you who offered the oral exam after class, offer their teachings or exams in different languages as well, in English and French, and lots of people who don't really understand had so much concentration. I think that's quite important, to have a sense of rejoicing to those people who offered in the oral exam. As a lay practitioner, his actions and his deportment is also quite important, although it doesn't necessarily have to be the same as ordained monks and nuns who had to obey over 350 disciplines. You can't skip and jump or laugh out loud. I'm not saying that you can't laugh now. I'm just saying that don't laugh inappropriately. In fact, laughing is really good. You can laugh out all your sickness from your lung, and other people will breathe it in. I was just joking. So Vimalakirti abide in the deportment of the Buddha, and his mind was great as the ocean. His realization is quite profound. Unlike our mind, which sometimes could be very narrow, could be very emotional sometimes, if other people just simply say one thing or other very small causes, it could disturb one's mind. Sometimes happy, sometimes really painful and angry and upset, and for no reason, really. Therefore, it's really important to expand our mind to be as great as the ocean, to be very inclusive, to be vast, just like the ocean. How is the ocean like? What is the ocean like? Kumarajiva said that ocean has 3 great characteristics. First one is that it's deep and vast. Second is that the ocean is very pure because it doesn't have little defilement. Doesn't really couldn't really defile it or make it filthy. And the third one is that inside the ocean there are many jewels and treasures. So our mind, if you really have some realization, your mind could be as vast as profound, and your mind could be as pure as undefiled. Because once your mind is so vast, you can't even find the reason for defilement, for afflictions. Even the nature of affliction is also empty. And then you can also find the fruition inside your mind, or the treasures and jewels in your mind, just like it is in the ocean. Many practitioners, it is very difficult to be exactly like Vimalakirti. But at least our actions could be changed and turned to a better direction. For example, if you used to be a very emotional and narrow-minded person, at least after studying the Dharma, you should expand your mind a bit and don't get so emotional so quickly. Because when you have anxiety, when you fight and quarrel with your friends and family members and other people, you yourself is actually quite painful as well, right? It's quite important to have a sense of easygoing with other people, just like some of the masters nowadays who have great realizations, but they're very easygoing. They make people around them very comfortable, make their heart at ease. And whenever these people around the masters hearing the voice of the Dharma or even anything, they themselves feel really at ease. This is quite important. Then Vimalakirti received the praise from the Buddhas from 10 directions. Because not only his merit, but his aspirations and all of his skillful means are quite supreme. Vimalakirti actually has such merits that are completely different than anyone else. But also, Vimalakirti has the merit that we ourselves can also achieve. Just as we could be easygoing to other people. And he's really revered among the Indras, Brahmas, and all the different beings. In next class, we will talk about that. If we constantly think about of benefiting other sentient beings, then you will be praised by the Buddhas of 10 directions. If your mind is filthy, if your mind is full of ferocious thinkings and trying to harm the sentient beings, then you will be scolded by the Buddhas of 10 directions, even people from 10 directions. I was watching Khenpo Rinpoche's teaching on encouraging people not to kill sentient beings. In the video, Khenpo Rinpoche, out of his compassion, out of his kind-heartedness, encouraged people not to kill the other sentient beings, because he said that in the Tibetan plateau it is like hell on earth, as there are so many killings going on. For people who conduct such vicious deeds every day in their lives, it is might as well to pass away in this life. It is probably better for them not to create terrible karmas. Many practitioners may say that I have lots of afflictions, I'm not a good practitioner, and they feel really troubled by those. But I think at least you're not killing people, you're not killing any sentient beings. At least, as an ordained person with the robes, you can't hold the butcher's knife and kill other sentient beings, isn't it? So, at least this is not as hopeless as those people who kill for their lives, for their livelihood. So, I guess we have to circle around the Vimalakirti Sutra and Vimalakirti's merit, and sometimes we circle around different stories around us, some relevant information and stories. Because commentaries are different than shastras. Because commentaries need to be accommodating to the audience at that time. During the teaching, maybe it is not as concise. Zandragome, great master, said that during the oral teaching it is okay to be expansive and not so concise, but during writing a shastra, writing a commentary, you have to be very concise. So, no matter what, we can compare with relevant information. And now Indras, Brahmas, and Lokapalas all revered Vimalakirti. But Vimalakirti, wanting to save human beings and wanting to liberate human beings, Vimalakirti used these excellent skillful means to reside in Vishali. In fact, it is said the Buddhas praised him and his disciples. So disciples, this word disciples is included in the Tibetan version and in Wu Zhiqian's version. The disciples here meant the arhats. And world lords, which are the Lokapalas, or the protector kings, heavenly protector kings. As in the Medicine Buddha Sutra, it includes the 12 Lokapalas who protected the whole world. Including all the Lokapalas, they all revered Vimalakirti, which we can see that if Vimalakirti wants to reside in the heavenly realm, he could anytime. He could even have a palace there. However, he chose to stay in this world. In fact, after reading, I felt that this is skillful means. Sometimes I really feel that the lay practitioners we have over here, maybe their realization is not completely like Vimalakirti, but their skillful means are quite admirable. They use all different types of skillful means to help other people. To follow the precepts only, that is simply by the pratimoksha vow. But for the bodhisattva vows, you can, as long as your mind is right, then you can use all different sorts of skillful means to benefit others. Such as in pratimoksha vows, you cannot even wear makeups. You cannot lie. But in bodhisattva vows, as long as you're trying to protect the person not to be killed, you could lie. Same as in the Vajrayana vows. If it is the same for that is described in Vimalakirti Sutra. Vimalakirti actually could be all things to all men. He could be one thing to the politicians. He could be another to merchants. He could be anything to use his skillful means to benefit them. Therefore, I hope those of you who learn or who study Vimalakirti Sutra, you could at least learn something similar to his skillful means. And in terms of your actions and your mind, you can be more inclusive. You can be more open-hearted to different approaches. Don't be like some of the modern university students where they only stick to one craftsmanship. For example, medical students who can use only needles, and they stick to that and not to use any other skillful means to treat the patients. Although you studied this major, but there are many potentials that you have, and you should explore in those. So although Vimalakirti was a white-robed layman, he maintained a pure Vinaya conduct of a Shramana. And I really hope our practitioners here, you could be very happy doing anything. Sometimes I know what I want to say, but I don't want to know. I don't know how to say it. But maybe it's because I don't have the eloquence, the 7 types of eloquence that Vimalakirti has. What does it mean? It means that Vimalakirti, through his skillful means, he resides in the Vishali, the city of Vishali. In fact, I wanted to go on a little bit longer, but so maybe we should stop here instead.
Zangbu shubbu tu nama zoparaji, Zhang nama Jamso number of Silajan, Simpson Jamso Tana number Jolo, Chunama Jamso Ratan Tom Silajan, Yeshi Jamso Rata Operation, Shopa Jamso number of Silajan, Mulam Jamso Yos Operation, Sardi Jamso Ratan Chup Silajan, Karapa Jamso Majo Jabaraj, Kaya Tisama Delavaya, Shanchip Shup, Mulam Shita, Namazan Pop Shup, Shanchip Sardine, Taken up Daki Mali Operation, Jalava can get it yet, however, can go Mana can the Zanji, keep at the dance on Perf Shepherd, given the Tatam Jalatermo, Litanga Tayir Janam Tajam, Shupan, and Tajanam Yonda, Moa Zambo, keep at Chandava, Tender of the Jan de Dams on Peresho. Can he give us on push up of Seram, Janvalajina, Molam Chaparja, Mawa Karpak and the Majo, Dave Shava Mali is operaja. Shopadan, Sayul, Majarachi, Yundan and Johnson, Zomi Peresho, Shopas and Nilipalan in Jan, the Tam Chalava, Tam Chalam Savaraj, Namkim Tardi Chirpacha, Sambara, Simpson and Malim, Tayan, Division and De, Chatsamaletam, Yumon, Tajaraba, Daki, Molam and Tayan, De Samo. Kayam Shochi Janam Taipa, Renchin and Dave Jalana, Palal, Hatama, Deva, Chonamaja, Jangab, Daniela Calapara, Kangang over Japon, the Tuni, Shanchavan Chaka, Jizara Mosha, Lanche, Zamayan, Talapa, Kelpana, Sonam Tambam Chotam, Dangeraro, Kangas on Shulamulam and the Tapi, Tina, and Son Tamjala Power and Gerard, in a Jobong and Bapavayan, now I'm Dai, they are them Yeraton. Tetaganya Paran Yella Devaram Song, Masindra, Tetagala Para, Kanda Zambo, they are Gendraver. Matoa Division and Samaring up the Dipana, Kanga, Meshi, one give Shibata, they Zombo. Yet the money also Shavanger. Yes, she done them Ziton, Sanamata, Riton, Catawanam, Dam Berenger, the Tom Artamam, Putim, Zitan, Sambook and Nam Chuparanger. Shanchavishan want on the Dimir and Rose, only Simpson and Hampshire and the Tave, Shanchavisan, Jim Corlor at the Cor, the Namadetam Chibatam Teletel, Kayam Zampu, Shupam, Molamandam, Chahatana, Tuntamalona, the number of members on the Shancham Jolam Zonyam Abjeji, Jam Holawa, Chetaram Jambada, I can the Zambo, the Division and Data, can Jis, Dolosher, Gavan, the Totam Jelar of the Romo, Tisamashapa, Yelava, Tamchel Jim, I can lam Chotam, your baby, Daka gave us Savan, the Canadian, Zambo, Josher after overage, Danan Chevy, Tivshin, Kirpana, Japan, Jelatanam, Society, once a man, one time, 1020, they were Janjay. There's only the Mulam the Tajan, Tamchel Malim, Wondam Gervarashawa, the Mali, the King of Sabgan, Jitan and Chetel, Simpson and Pamperage. Jean Gavater, Pamo, Damba, and Ziriti, now I'm tired, Jervin, one Samanda, long stand by, I'm the kid of show. Then I've the king on the rap to me, till Pamon Boshi, I'm to the lawyer of Jeshuchan, I'm Sayan, Simpson, I'm Labamba, Mamboy, Zambo, Mulam and Dombaye, give a chance of the king, Chasaba, then I'm drove a Mulam, gave a Kachi, Chicken, Tanjalam Javarasho, Kaya. Chopin, the Mobim, Sunamai, and back on top of the door of Dingola Chavar, Shawana, or Holami be near a operation. Molame Japon, the Tom Chocos, so I'm tying, do I can laugh him Shilajan, can the Zambu Jamba, Jean Travati, Manson in a Mali, Tomara show. Sandia, Casamani, Burbs and Lavada, Junior Mandira, then Burbs and Lavada. Again the name of Shilandam Beach and Lavati, Jeftarangova, Molam and Reparation. Tayada Panzan and Jaya, Wambudana, so high. Bamit, Urjit and Jumjet, Telepanam, Lirabalam Baker, Montolonda, River, White Chief, Jimmy Pens of Javla, Soravand, Tejala Combination of Anyan Laji. Kayla Sitam, Depression, Yellow, sorta ye ta de me ran sala ngam milet hanjvar kim di pa bam jova asama jalwa jam zum chenni yela gavshen chen bo bi shi pa zolam mele cham zran ho nyam dagam dor ta pa ye shi na wam chu sala so sha la mo ji pa nyam jira ta dong ki ji zana mala sarvan Durji shi sultanam chanim zabim shojim gorlo charanim dalo chayum tam se samaya tam jo pam de ram ta chong jamni jaravi thirchila zammo tan thabdanan tam jo jam su nim ti to ayamela lagsam dim barim nande dotunam jap gensan bar chirchi lapa samdan ngarme zambaya Deepa soji nindar yon kaja Tagtab shal javam shavib chalam jiwar Tabtanam shum tarab jib chashi sho
上师备受瞩目的总艺讲考也正式开启了，也从此以后日常多语讲考也从今天开始也就大家可以期待了。那么在这一次的报名当中呢，总共有24位道友报名了中文的总艺讲考，有16位的道友包含了包含1